I did this properly. And
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
let's do comments. I hope we're live. I don't know.
Let's see.
Let's
Yes,
check.
we are live. I'm the
And
mic.
we're live? Okay, sweet.
Yes,
Sweet.
we're live. Welcome in, everybody. Hello.
Comments. Hi, everybody. Whoever's in here, I hope you come in and say hello, hello, hello. Show comments on
Listen.
stage. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we started 23 seconds ago.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Janet. How you doing? Thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, Janet.
Michelle.
Whoop, whoop. Michelle in the building. Heather G.
Has a G in the home. Hello, friends. How you guys doing? Say hi to Rose. This is Rose from the Rose Life. You guys go check out her channel. I did put down her information. I don't know if it should show up in the description box. Her link for her channel, The Rose Life, is going to pop up. And it's just the way she wrote it underneath of her, right there on the screen, The Rose Life. And you can find her there. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for coming in. This is my first live in a long time.
Whoop, whoop. Party. So we definitely needed a nice little girls and guys hangout just to unwind, chit chat,
Yes,
a,
girl.
a moment to just breathe because there's been so many different things going on in the
Ooh,
world and in our lives, everyday lives, especially when you're a mother, a wife, you got all these different things to do and you just want to gather your thoughts, and this is the place where we're just going to talk, release everything.
we're going to do it, baby. Hey, Tracy. Thank you so
Hey,
much for coming
Tracy.
in. Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to be here.
Yes, and I did a prayer too. I did a prayer before
Okay.
coming on, and I said, whoever needs to be here, whoever needs to hear this, that I hope they get to see this, even if they're not watching it live, that they rewatch it and they get something out of this, whether it's a moment of just clarity, a moment of just peace, or a smile, or even if you have one good laugh, take something, take what you need and leave what you don't, you
That's
know.
what I'm talking
And
about.
I definitely wanted to put that, especially since I started the Bible. I have made that post. I started the Bible in
Yes.
November. From the beginning, I wanted to start from the beginning. And my history is I was born and raised in the church, and then sometimes you leave, you come back, and this time I'm like, I wanted to read the Bible again from the beginning, and at this time in my life, my understanding, because obviously I have more wisdom, more maturity, and like I wanted to understand it now. And let me tell you, it's been a ride, especially when you're trying to get closer to God. Woo, all these things will happen, and sometimes they're not good because you're fighting the spiritual, where I get tongue tied, warfare, like you were saying in your video. And I was like,
Yes.
it came perfect timing, and I appreciate that you made that video. Like, I really needed it, and I was like, wow, you're talking to, I was like, Anna, you're talking to me. And I'm watching your video, I'm like, me girl, yes, me.
Well, first of all, hey, Kimberly, thank you so much for coming in. And hi, Judy. Yes, our faiths do get tested. And the whole thing about it is that Stephanie has shared her video, and I saw her video and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
it spoke to me. And I was like, you know what? If it's talking to me, I want to talk to everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Yeah.
Mimi.
Yeah. And like certain videos and certain times, there's going to be content creators that they have a message, and it's like, this is what you needed to hear, and this is where you need to be at the exact time and moment. And I'm like, wow. And honestly, that's not the first video. There's been a lot of videos that you've made, or like posts and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I needed. And I'm like, I appreciate that. And especially too, like a few years back, like when we first started messaging each other, and I was like, wow, you were saying things, and I was like, she doesn't really understand like that email. I'm like, she doesn't understand how it made me feel like I needed that, and it made me feel like, wow, I appreciate it. Like that's a message sent from, it's divine. Like, you know,
We have been talking for a while, right?
yes,
Dang. I mean, time flies.
yes.
It truly flies. Hey, Joan, thank you so much for coming in. Time
Hey,
truly
Blue.
flies. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember our first live. Well, when it was from this other creator, this other content creator, and I was cool with her, and then I jumped into the live, and we just hit it off like it was
Yeah,
meant to
we
be.
just
I was
we
like,
just hit it off.
yeah,
We just hit it off. It was awesome. Now, what I
yeah.
want to talk about, obviously, we're talking about, it's been a little rough. I'll even say it's been a little rough for me. I've talked about it. And hi Monroe. And it's been a little rough. It's definitely been a little rough. And sometimes it just leaves me speechless.
Hmm.
It just leaves me
Yeah.
speechless when you think about, it's true that when you're starting to walk a certain path, a lot of obstacles get in your way, and it makes it just extra hard. And it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So what we're going to try to do today with you guys is we're going to talk about things, but we're also going to give suggestions. Rose, come on, girl.
Well, I also, what I started to do, because I noticed like I was under a lot of stress, anxiety. My coping skills were terrible, and honestly, I'm still working on that. I'm not coming on here and saying, "Oh, I'm so well and I got this handled and now my life is fixed because I did this." But there is some things that I started to do that really, really improved my mental health, because everyone has mental health. Everyone, the same way you have oral health, your heart health, mental health is for everyone. And you really have to pay attention. And if you want to keep a journal, it's good to keep a journal just to see where, you need improvement at, or, yes, look at your journal. I love it. And it's, oh my God, that one is really beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
like
love it.
3D, and it has
I
little
love it. I
little.
love it. The ocean theme, like really,
Mm-hmm.
really nice. I love it. Um, and I started to watch videos, and I also started a new book, which I really recommend. Let Them Theory by Mel Robinson. It's a pretty good book too. She basically talks about, when people do things, or, in situations where it could be a little tricky, where you feel hurt or betrayed, it's just let them. And also, like, not to, because at times I've been a control freak. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I need to control everything. Like, even with my son's situation, I'm like controlling because I don't want him to fail, but that's not fair to him. So it's like, you gotta let people be, let them. But back to what I was saying, creating a routine. Like, for me, I've noticed a huge difference with creating a routine, especially like in the morning. First thing I'm doing is really praying to God, whether it's a short prayer, whether I can get on the Bible, because every day is not the same. Everything doesn't look the same for me. Sometimes I got to move quick, sometimes I have more time than others. But long story short, basically creating a routine that you look forward to, and having, if you wake up, let's say you wake up at 8 o'clock and you feel like, wow, then time starts to fly. Wake up an hour earlier to give yourself that hour for yourself. Give yourself that hour. And let me tell you, it's amazing when you give yourself that extra hour. You get to do extra things. Maybe, do a little skincare routine, brush your teeth, be by yourself, drink some coffee, look outside, get some fresh air, and everything's just quiet, and it's just you yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
just little things like that. I also started, like, I make sure I make the bed in the morning.
That makes such a
After
big
everything,
difference.
it does. It makes me feel like everything is complete. And it's just little things like that, basically. Just starting a routine for yourself, and try not to pick up the phone look through your emails, make sure that no one hits you up or you know text you anything important. But after that, really just have some quiet time. And if you're a religious person, you know look for God, because times are really rough, and
Yeah,
it really makes a difference when you start doing those little things.
because I do that. I do that as well. I always get up before the kids, unless they're sick,
Hmm.
and they're up before me, and they're like, "Mom." But you know what I'm saying. I always have my morning coffee. That's my routine. I catch up with my husband. I look through my emails. I look at whatever else I have to. I might work on my blog. I just do the little things, and then my day will start. But it's true that little bit of time can really make or break your day. That's like so true. Now, I do have a question about the book and the series. You said it's a series?
No, I think this is her first book, and I
Okay.
just recently started, so I'm into like the first few chapters. But
Okay.
I know how the theory started and how it came to be. So it's really really it's nice. It's more like a mental health book.
Now, as far as coping mechanisms, what have you learned? Like two things that you've learned so far from the book as far as a coping mechanism.
To not a lot of the situations, it's out of fear. Like, so we tend to like control a lot of the situations, and that's where a lot of problems come, because we have fear like things are going to go bad. And sometimes you just have to let situations be, not to
Mm,
overanalyze. And also, if you're into the Bible, obviously, don't be afraid. And God really doesn't want us to be worried and have anxiety, because that's how we get sick. A lot of the sicknesses that we have, like people have a lot of stomach issues, we have a lot of health issues, is because of worrying. So keeping in mind that worrying doesn't do anything. It's no there, you're not going to get a solution from worrying. Nothing comes out of worrying, only bad things happen. So definitely try not to be so uh what can I say, like over analyzing a situation, and letting it be, because everything will fall into place.
mm,
That's what I got so far from that.
hmm. Okay. And the first thing that you said when you said letting things be, letting it go and just letting it be, that's a challenge within itself. That's a challenge within itself. Now, Judy here, she left a comment which I find is interesting. That she said, reading your Bible every day is not being religious. It's called having a relationship with the Lord. Well, you can read the Bible and not have a relationship with the Lord.
Yes.
You can literally read the Bible and it won't stick. It won't land on your heart. It won't land in your mind, and it won't land in your life. So I'm going to, you could take that a couple of different ways. Just because you're reading it doesn't mean it's leaving any kind of footprint. So,
And I meant to say, I'll clarify. I meant to say religious, because I know some people maybe are watching and they're not into God, and they're not Christians or whatever. So I just say religious, just in general, like if you are a Christian, then
yeah, but
reading your Bible.
that's half the battle, is just even picking up the book, and hopefully something will stick, something will touch you, and a footprint, a handprint, something will connect with you. That's half the battle.
Yeah,
And I think it's important that you just pick it up. Just start there,
yeah,
picking it up.
yeah. It's important, and applying it, because a lot of times, you know, you read your Bible, and then once you put it down, or you're listening to it audio book, whatever it is, however you're getting the Bible into your mind, once that stops, everything else stops. And then you go out, you're in the car, and somebody cuts you off, and you're like, what? And you go, but you got to take a step back and be like, you know what? This is just a moment. Let me calm down and think like maybe that person's going through something. Maybe something's happening, because we have to think how, Jesus would. What would Jesus do? And
Yeah.
kind of applying, like, we got to kind of be, more understanding.
Well,
It's
the
not
way
easy.
it's not easy. No,
It's not.
yeah, because yeah, it's not easy. But I could tell you, the last time I had a road rage incident, when they were being the aggressors, I was like, okay, this is a devil testing me. This is a devil trying to come for me, and I'm trying to arrive alive, and I'm trying to get home. I got a family. This person might have a death wish for themselves. Maybe they don't care if they don't get home, but I do. And I
Yes.
was like, I can't listen. I cannot allow this to affect me. And then the other thing that I tend to do, excuse me, is I even tell my kids this when they say some stuff that's off the wall that don't make too much sense. Um, I always tell them, would you say that if God was sitting here in the room with you?
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
Would you? Would you be saying that? Would you say that if he was right here in the room with us? Would you do what you just did if he was right here? So if you take that approach in life, in any kind of circumstance or scenario, it'll really change the way you kind of move. It really will. That's one of
Yep.
my little tricks with my kids for sure. Hi,
Definitely.
Jennifer.
Another thing that I feel like you're leveling up spiritually is when someone hurts you, betrays you, a friend, a family,
Mhm.
or just in general, someone that, let's just say in the internet or anywhere in life, work, church, um, when you actually pray for them and feel bad, that is when you start to realize I am maturing. I am spiritually leveling up, because before that, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I would have so much, like, why would they do that to me? That's not fair. I didn't summon that. I didn't do nothing to receive that kind of treatment. And like now, I know I'm leveling up because I actually feel bad for that person. I'm like, wow, I feel bad for them. I really, really do. I feel bad for them, and I pray for them, because I'm like, something is not right with that person. What battles are they facing? What's going on with them that they had to treat me this way? Because it's a reflection of
Yeah.
themselves. So that's a new mindset.
Hmm.
Hey, Kayla. So
Kayla's in the house.
that's like you start to level up, and it's
Yeah,
both, like I was saying, spiritually, and also, maturing, emotionally maturing.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Now, let me ask you a question. What have you done within the past a few days? And I want you guys to answer here on the side too, if you get a chance. All of our visitors here, if you can give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And make sure you to go visit the Rose Life after this live and become a
thank
part of
you.
her family over there.
Mhm.
Um, but you guys answer this too. What have you guys done for yourselves? Do you do something every day? Have you done within the past week? Give me a list of things that you've done to do self care.
That's a good question. A lot of times we tend to, like, pay attention to everyone else and kind of neglect ourselves.
Mhm.
So I was able to. I gave myself a nice facial. I used my tools.
Ooh,
Yeah, I woke up. Well, I've been waking up early, so sometimes when I wake up early, it'll be like two extra things that I do within that hour. So it's like the whole hour passed, but at least I got my prayer in, and I just sat there because I just needed to sit down and drink my coffee. It was like a half an hour of just silence, meditating. But yeah, I've been really, like, just trying to be on my creams and stuff, because I haven't been on it as much as I would like to. So that, and I treated myself to some new books from Dollar Tree. Um, I have a haul on my channel, so I was able to treat myself, and I'm like really looking forward to that, because I'm trying to read as much as I can this whole summer. I want to, like, read a lot. Like, I want to go to. I have my bookshelf, and I really want to pick up on a lot of books, because I'll read a book and I put it down, and I'm like, to the next, because I'm like not into it right now. So I have
yeah,
my Bible and then a book. Like, I don't know. My brain is very eclectic. And I'll be like all over the place, but I understand it. That's what counts.
Now,
You?
now I see that Princess Kayla said I don't really have time for myself. Janet, I haven't done anything and I need to. And then we have Jennifer. That's Jennifer Alana or Elena. I'm learning to just sit quiet before the Lord, being okay with sitting quiet instead of being so busy. That's beautiful.
Yes, that's important.
That's beautiful. I like
And
that.
I had I'm glad Jennifer brought that up. I used to feel guilty just sitting down, and I actually started to learn recently, just recently, that it's important to just sit down and not do nothing for a while. Just sit with your mind and whatever you need to think of, or like, you know, reading your Bible, or reading the Bible, getting into something, maybe journaling of, but that quiet time is needed. And it's okay not to be productive at that time. So I'm glad she brought that up.
Now, you know what's interesting? What's interesting for me is that normally with these kind of talks, when we talk about, self care, loving yourself, having your spiritual armor up, is normally not a topic that a lot of people are click like I need to listen to this. I need to listen to this. And it's just not. And it's I feel like we're among strange times when you'd rather watch a haul for stuff that you may or may not find versus getting something else that's more that
Hmm.
holds more value.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, because I don't know, it's I could have did a haul tonight and just did that. I could have did that, but it's today was a day of self-reflection of what's important to me, and just talking to my peeps here about things that are going on now. If y'all want to hear something juicy about how vicious the world is, because I know that's what y'all want the juice. Hey Trixie, thanks a lot for coming in. I don't see you too much, Trixie. I hope everything's well with you. um I still, this week, I definitely had a particular battle when I was going through my comments, and it was on the movie, The Woman of Distinction. So I released that movie. Are you okay? Okay. I released the movie, and it's a really funny movie. If you haven't seen it, it is in black and white, and I absolutely love it.
I got to check it
And
out.
and yeah, you gotta check it out. Just you're like, oh, I like this. Well, that movie, I got 4 comments from, and I'm gonna say her name, Shell Griffin, and Cheryl left me 4 comments. Now, Cheryl hasn't been on my channel in a while. Okay. Cheryl, um, she went on a journey to lose weight. So she was refocusing her time and her efforts on keto, anything keto related. Right? And she
Mhm.
shared that with me. And the last few times she was on my channel, she was sharing, I lost this many pounds, I lost that many pounds. And of course, we give everybody accolades because losing weight ain't easy. So, of course, always give accolades, congratulations, you're doing a great job and keep pushing, meet your goal.
Mhm.
So, in the movie comment section, she left me not one, not not one, two, three, four, four long extended comments. Now, this woman hasn't been on my channel for a while, okay? She hasn't. It's been maybe like a year. It's been like a year. And in the comments she says, "I don't watch you anymore." And I'm like, "Well, obviously you're here so you are watching." But, and this is the world today. This is the kind of stuff that I just don't let you guys see, but I'm dealing with in the background.
Personally, yeah.
And this is the world that we're in. So these type of things affect me. They affect me. And I spend a lot of time here on YouTube, just like any other. content creator does, especially since I approve every single comment. If I don't approve it, it doesn't come through. So she wrote that she stopped watching me, which didn't make sense, but I stopped watching you a long time ago. I have been losing weight. And this is on the movie thing.
Wow.
I see you haven't lost weight. Um, I'm not trying to be mean, but you're fat. And I think you should do keto, and you should have been doing keto. And she just went on this barrage. And every couple of sentences, I'm not trying to be mean. That's like a mean girl thing when they're like, oh, your coffee tastes like poop, but I'm not trying to be mean about it. Your food tastes like, but I'm not trying to be mean. It was
Wow.
like a mean girl comment, and it was
Yeah.
like every couple of cents, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not. But then there was like, boom, here's a punch. I'm not trying to be mean. Boom, here's another punch, but I'm not trying to be mean. This is what, this is some of the things that I'm dealing with in the background, right? And it's kind of comical because we as content creators and we as women should be trying to support each other, and even viewers, they should be trying to support us and to encourage us and help us grow. I want people here that want to see me do better, and they want to see me grow as a person and as a human being and as a mother and as a wife and everything else. That's what I need encouragement. I have enough people in this world trying to chop my legs off at every turn, and that's what I was dealing with. And I did a video, and I didn't release it. And I'm glad I didn't release it, because you know why? All the stuff I would have said, I wouldn't have said it if God was in the room. I wouldn't have. I would have been ashamed of myself. And
Listen, no,
I'm glad I didn't release it, but I did it, but I didn't
okay.
release it.
At least it's a vent session. That's super inappropriate. If you have to, whenever a person has to say, I am not trying to be mean,
I'm not trying to be
9 out of 10
mean.
times you are being mean. That's number one.
Mean
Number
girl.
two, if
Yeah,
you are on keto and you're losing weight, is because you were overweight yourself. So
exactly.
a person who has been
Yeah,
overweight, and she's probably still overweight or whatever,
yeah,
if you feel like that about Anna, right? You should have more compassion. That's another thing. And that only reflects what kind of person you are. The fact that you have the audacity to even do that speaks volumes. um if you were really really concerned, right, we're going to use, if you're really concerned, that's not a comment that you leave in a video.
yeah.
That's more of like, you know what, let me reach out to Anna
Hmm.
and tell her, hey, I'm, I this is not coming from a bad place. I hope
Yeah.
you're well. Being overweight, there's so many things that are not healthy, whatever reasons that you're concerned. So that was definitely malicious, and you came from a bad place, and shame on you. Shame on you as a woman to come for another woman's weight.
Hmm.
You just don't do that. And we're in times that we, you know, we should be sticking together. And to do that is very, very disappointing. And
Hmm.
comments like that you can really keep to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't leave
And,
those comments.
and you don't know, like I always say, you could look at a person, but you don't know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what their medical problems are. And it was kind of comical because she was like, you should go on keto. And I'm like, okay, if I go on keto, I'm going to end up in a hospital because my kidneys aren't working right. So, if I'd be really messed up. And there's a lot of other things that are wrong with me that
It's not her
that I'm
business.
not going to talk about. I'm just not
Yeah.
going to talk about. These are things that I'm managing and I'm dealing with, but I'm not going to talk about them. I don't have to, and I'm not, but it's part of the reason why I am dealing with all the things that I'm dealing with. And it's just the sheer ignorance of it, and the meanness is the mean girl factor of it. In
Yeah.
that, it made me stop. And I was like, she could have stopped at the first comment and said, okay, I got this out of my system for whatever reason. She got, I got underneath her skin for whatever. I don't even know this chick, I'm like, come on. I said, well, what's the point to that? She's a couple years older than me.
Wow.
She's just a couple years older than me. And she did say that she lost like 100 pounds, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And she has started at like 300. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. I said, I was at 400 and I had gotten down to 200. I said, we've all been through our ups and downs. So, I've been there, I've done it, and now I'm battling it again, but because of medical issues. So
And
everybody, you don't know what people are going through. You just don't know.
it's so terrible for someone to do that, because there, there's so many reasons why a person could be overweight, but that's none of her concern. And
Yeah.
you don't have to explain. What if you want to be the weight you want to be?
Mhm.
You can be whatever weight you want to be, and you don't have to
Exactly.
explain. That's the beautiful thing, is that we
Yeah.
don't have to explain. But if you ever feel like, if someone ever feels like you're concerned, that's one thing. But to say, oh, I don't watch you, and oh, you're this, and it's horrible. And
I was
you
like,
know like, what the heck?
it's like,
People,
whoa, what
yeah,
what did I
you
do
know
to you?
this
Yeah.
is horrible. It's shame on her. And we'll keep her in our prayers, because I feel like maybe
Yes.
she's battling something. um
Obviously.
if I ever lost 100 pounds, you guys will be sick of me, because I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll be
Yeah.
making videos every day. I'll be like,
Look,
hi guys, hello, hi, I
if
lost this weight, look at
I'd be
me.
acting like a fool. I'd be
Yeah.
acting like a fool. I'll be like, honey, hey, hey.
I will be cheesing. I will be smiling 24/7.
Yes.
Zero hate. Listen, I could be driving a car and you cut me up. Okay, don't worry, go in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Or you can go in front of me in the line. I'll be like, go ahead, you want to cut me off? Don't worry. I lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, but
You know?
but these are the things that we battle as creators, not including our
Ooh.
home lives, not
Yes.
including our finances, not including our medical, not including our families, not including the streets, not including our churches, our community groups, the places where we volunteer, everything else, just everything else. It's just,
Yeah.
and then people just, they still come for you, and it's just a sad state of
Yeah.
affairs. It
It
really and
is.
truly
It
is.
is. If you know
It is,
the
and
way
I'm glad
going
I
back
didn't release that video.
I know how you feel. I know. Listen,
That
we
close.
are Christians, and we love to read the Bible, but we're also human people. Don't forget that. So don't be like,
Yes.
oh, they're coming here trying to be all, they're trying
Yes.
to talk about it and be peaceful. We're human, and things
Mhm.
like this, it gets you upset. You get upset, and it's hurtful. It is really hurtful, especially if you struggle, because
Yeah.
you can being overweight. There's many reasons why a person can be overweight. Okay, you can be an emotional eater. Like, you could have so much trauma, and food is your comfort. And there's a lot of documentaries. There was, I think it's called The Pill. I don't know what, I forgot the name, but you know it bothers me, because that's something that I have faced. I have been in both. With
Mm.
when it comes down to weight, I've been in both places where
Yes.
I super underate, and then I overate. I'm in both. It's relatable. So for me, it does. It's a little bit like, hey, don't talk about that stuff. But like, it's really mean, because you don't know what a person is going through, and you should never say stuff like that. You should just, if you if you have the one thing that we always hear since we were little: if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it
Mhm.
at all. We learned
Don't
this
say
in
it at all.
school. Teachers have told us. People, like, it's
That's true.
something so cliche, but so real. If you
It's
don't
real.
have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Like,
Mhm. It's true.
people need to respect content creators too, because, like, we're here today, but if if we want and we get tired and we feel like this is not working for us because we're getting a lot of hate, you're you guys have to understand that potentially you can lose your favorite YouTuber forever. They can pick up and go and you don't hear nothing from them ever again. So really a kind word, it speaks volumes and it's very encouraging. And like Anna was saying, like, it's really encouraging when people, when women, leave nice things or you say nice things. That's why, like, I
Yeah.
to all my close friends and my family, I like to send them throughout the week. I'll send them one or two times. I'll send them something positive, like have a wonderful day, sending positive vibes your way, like I do. And I'm like, I always send, because I'm
Yeah,
like,
and it's all sparkly.
yes. Because like, or I feel or like I'll feel something, like some in my heart, like I'll feel like, you know what, I'm thinking about this person a lot. Maybe this person is in my mind for a reason. Let me send her a word of encouragement.
Yeah,
And it works. It really works. When I
it
receive
does.
something nice, it puts a smile on my face. And whatever I'm going through at that moment, you never know what someone's going through. It puts a smile. So really consider before being vicious and trying to put another woman down. Really consider, is it really productive? Does this really need to be said? And we're all adults. Like, the
Yeah.
internet could teach you. If you didn't learn as a child, as a teenager, in your 20s, 30s, the internet is here. You could learn to be a better person. There's always positive things in this world.
And there's always room for growth. I'm not a perfect person. I've made my mistakes in the past, but now I'm working on being that better person. So no, I'm not perfect. Like I said, I made a video,
I was.
but I didn't release it. I came that close. That close.
I
I
know.
didn't release it, but I was like,
I know how you feel.
but
Of
it's
they
a good thing I didn't release it. It's a good thing I didn't.
this video came perfect timing, and it's like, wait, you know what? I'm gonna reconsider. you know,
Seriously.
I
Seriously.
know, it's tough. It's really, really tough. Um, yeah, it's tough. We're humans, and it's not nice. Like, oh, I know. Let me see. Almost like, I think it was almost like 7 or 8 years ago. I had a video where I had my son. He was like, opening some stuff from Dollar Tree. The snack reviews with your kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And somebody said something so foul and disgusting about my child that I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, they had said something really cruel, and I was like, wow, you don't have a channel, you don't have a default picture. They had like a purple thing with a letter B or something, some letter.
How appropriate.
Yeah, and we don't
Bad
know who you
person. Bad person.
and like it was so bad. I literally did what you did. I recorded a video.
Wow.
I went ham. I went all the way in, and I said, wait, you know what, I'm not going to release this because you know what, I'm going to scare people. And they're like, is that Rose? But you touching my baby, like, like,
Yeah, no, and they did that. They did that with me too. They did that with me too. And I
and
was like, okay, this person, I'm about to like figure out where they live. They're about to get a door knock. I mean, that's the one thing you don't mess with somebody else's children. You just don't go for the kids. Go for the adults. Just leave the kids out of it. Leave the kids out of it. Seriously.
so now I'm very, very private with the things I post, even my home, like everything. Like, you'll only see like a little corner, and that is it, because you have to protect your privacy and your peace. You have to. Like, I don't put much. I don't, because there is a lot of people that don't have good intentions, and it's a scary world. And I've encountered a lot of people who were not all there and that had bad intentions. Um, says what does she say? Rose was there with me through the worst YouTube bullying. Another creator was jealous, had trolls. Oh yeah, Joyful Stuff went through some stuff. It was terrible, but I'm glad that things are better for you. Oh, you guys like the ghost story? Oh my goodness. You
They're
know,
always so good.
oh my God. I was no lie. I've been thinking about it this week as well. I've been thinking about the ghost stories because I see a lot of summer ween. They're doing a lot of
Yeah.
summer ween stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I really I enjoy a creepy story. I really, really do. And I love true stories. Honestly, those are like the best for me. But you got a ghost story? Well, maybe we should do a poll. Maybe. Do you
I
guys
don't
want to
know.
hear?
How do I do a poll? Look.
I don't even.
I'm
Girl.
like, who wants to hear? Everybody that wants to hear ghost story, put a Y for yes and an N for no. Who wants to hear a quick, short ghost story? Because Rose will hook you up. She will hook you up. And while you guys are doing the poll, I'm going to share with you one of my new fragrances that I've been grabbing a
Ooh.
lot. That's brought me a lot of like at night when I'm stressed out. It's like it's a very unusual scent, but I just want to talk about it because, as you could tell, I've given it a hit. I just got it a few days ago, and it's gotten quite the little hit. I'm going to do a review for it, but it's Sweet Heaven Tobacco. And yeah, you can tell I've been hitting it, right? Yeah,
Yes, hitting it. Oh my goodness, you've been on it. I see
girl.
it's missing a few ounces there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to tell you, it smells so so good, and that's one of my self care items are
Yes,
fragrances,
yes.
and I was spraying this too, the gingham from Bath and Body Works. I was spraying that,
Ooh,
my
nice.
Heavenly Sweet Tobacco, which is off the chain. I got the other two as
Mm.
well. But where's
And
the
Bath
other
and Body
one?
Works is currently doing a sale, you guys. I'm staying away from the website. Ooh, what is that? I'm sorry.
That's my wax melts. So I do my wax melts. And this is a scent that's discontinued, but it's an autumn scent. And I love anything that
Autumn.
makes me feel cozy. So
Oh
I've
yes,
been using this week. It's bringing me so much joy. Part of my
yes.
self care.
Yes, yes, yes. If you got a nice candle or candle wax, that is so important. Also, the scent lilac is good for you. Those scents will calm you down. Lavender, mint. If you have a headache or if you have a lot, like you're overthinking, you're over jamming that head. Smell some mint. That's
Yeah.
good. It calms you.
The Himalayan salt, the salt one
Yes.
from Dollar Tree is so good.
Ooh, those are
I have
good.
that
And
here.
there's a
Oh,
brand from Dollar Tree that has really good, like 100% natural, 100% natural
yeah.
oils.
The
Yes,
pink Himalayan.
yes,
I use it.
yes. Just sniff it away. She's doing a review, guys. Go ahead.
No, it's really good. I highly recommend it, and it really does clear your nasal passages. If you suffer from vertigo and things like this, it
Yes,
helps to clear up your nasal passages, which also affects your vertigo. It really and truly does help. I keep this literally right here, right here. That's why I was like, I
yeah,
know I have some. I always keep it right here so I can grab it.
yes. Okay, so I see a lot of whys. Are we ready?
Yeah, girl, do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about true stories. Actually, something recent when I went to New Orleans. Now, oh, I love New Orleans. There, it's so rich in history, the food, the people, everything, just the structure, everything. It's. I love New Orleans. If I could move to New Orleans, I would. I love New Orleans. So, I'm gonna tell you guys that the first time I went, I stood at the jewelry. It's called Jewelry with a D, and that place it's right across the street from one of the most haunted hotels, and supposedly that hotel across the street is like a portal, an open portal to bad things. Okay,
Ooh.
but I did not know that. I honestly, we just picked that hotel not knowing much. Honestly, I went in not knowing much of the haunted hotels. I just wanted to go there, and I wanted to kind of like self discover, because sometimes I like to like either I'll go when I go to like visit somewhere, I'll do a lot of research, But this time I was like, you know what? I don't want to do research. I want to go in and self discover. So when I was at the hotel, I think it was the second night,
Yeah.
out of nowhere, the room smelled like bubble gum. And I was
Bubble
like,
gum.
bubble gum. And I was like, and I told my hubby, I was like, do you smell that? I was like, where's that scent coming from? It smelled like bubblegum. And I actually researched, I was trying to research what is the smell of bubblegum? Like why, because I know sometimes that, spiritually they say if you smell certain things, there's certain meanings and stuff. You got to take
Oh
everything
yeah.
with a grain of salt. But I was like trying to figure it out because it was just so random. I smelled bubblegum and I was like, whoa. I'm like, maybe there's something here. But it went away. And the same night, the room, and I know you always hear this, but the room got so icy cold. I was like, yeah, it got icy cold, and my hubby loves cold, so he could be living in an ice cube, and he'll be fine. But I was like, it's really cold. I get cold quick, so I was like, I opened my eyes. I was like, I didn't feel hubby change the thermostat or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no way. The room got cold and he's knocked out. And I was like, oh, okay. In my head, I was smiling, but then I was a little creeped out because it's super dark in the room. And I was like, there's definitely presence there. Yeah. And one of the nights that I stood there, I had a feeling like there was something. So I told my hubby, let's keep the TV on. And he was laughing. It was like, okay. So I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. I remember I couldn't go to sleep. He was up and he was playing with his phone. And then I finally started to fall asleep. It was in those stages, the first stages that you're slowly falling asleep. And I kept saying, no, 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 no. And I was like making a scary face, like I'm in pain. And he woke me up. He's like, are you okay? And I just woke up and I felt like I was somewhere, but I didn't know where I was at. And I was like, oh. And he was like, you kept saying no, 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 no. Like, what were you dreaming? Did you see something? And I was like, no, I don't even remember. Because it was kind of like the first stages when you're falling asleep. I
Yeah.
didn't, nothing. It was just like blank, blank, nothing that I could think of. And I was just like, I made a face and I was like, no, 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 no. And I made sure I wrote everything in a book because I didn't want to forget. So I wrote everything down of that trip because there was a lot of things that like I felt. And also in that trip, there's a place called Bloody Mary's. It's a gift shop in the bottom, and in the top it was actually a true crime scene from Zach. Oh goodness, I'm so bad right now, and I'm so tired.
Oh,
But
Zach.
Zach,
Zach
yes.
from Ghost Hunters. From I know what you're talking about.
Um, it was the couple where the guy he unalived the girl,
There was a couple of them.
and he took her head and he cooked it in a pot. I'm trying to be careful because
Oh, Dahmer? That's not Dahmer. No, that
no,
was somebody
Zach.
different.
I'm gonna look it up really really quick because I want to give you
That
guys.
was somebody different. That's a whole different pot of
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's a whole different pot of crazy. Oh my gosh.
Zach and Abby.
Zach and Abby.
Guys, look up Zach and Abby and you'll see the full story. But yes, I think Ghost Hunters they went there before, but the apartment that they actually lived in was upstairs. And Bloody Mary's is actually owned by this woman. I forgot her name, but she owns the place and it's a museum. In the bottom, they have like the gift shop, and in the top is the apartment, the same way it was how Zach and Abby left it. The refrigerator. I actually have
Ooh.
the video in my I have the video in my channel where you can
Ugh.
see the stuff. And I went there by myself upstairs. My hubby's like, I'm not. Mm-mm. He went and he left. He's like, no, no. But I am somewhat of a daring person because I need to know. I'm that type of person. So I stood there. But I took pictures and I felt There was something there. I was not alone. And I have confirmation that I was not alone. I have a picture in that video. I have a picture of a guy, and I don't care what anyone says. I think that that was Zach looking up. And by accident, I took that picture not thinking anything. It was in the staircase. I was going down the staircase and I saw a little red ribbon on the staircase. And I was like, that's kind of a odd. I don't know. I felt like there was a connection with that little red ribbon. When I took the picture, you could see in the staircase, you could see in the bottom, in the doorway, in the bottom, there is a guy looking at me up. He's looking up at me. And I kept looking through the pictures and I kept scanning the pictures because they kept saying, I remember like people are saying, when you take pictures out there, look through the pictures gently, take your time, because sometimes you might take a picture and never come across nothing. And there could be something, but you never come across because you're looking at it quickly. Take your time and scan the pictures. I did that. I zoomed in. I was like, oh, that's him. And he was staring at me. And I'm like, oh, I got goosebumps. I was like, I can't believe I captured that. I can't. I would show you guys right now, but I would have to go through my video real quick. And but anyways, I was there, and let me tell you, you guys, the energy there is thick, and you can feel stuff. I saw the refrigerator where he kept her parts at after he um the refrigerator is there, the stove is there, the bathroom, the bathtub, and you're going and you're walking and you're like, wow, I'm literally walking through the same steps that they took. And it's kind of like a little bit surreal, but I got that picture and I was like, wow, I sent it to everyone. I sent it to my whole family. Some people were like, I don't see nothing. And I'm like, and other people were like, I saw it immediately. And I was like, yes, you see it, you see it, you see it. So I would love to show you guys. Let me see if I could let me see if I could find it in my channel.
Now,
But yeah,
when you went into the space, what did you feel immediately? Was there like a heaviness? Was there?
I wasn't alone. I knew immediately that there was a presence. And I did pray. I was like, you know what? I know this is a bit much. I really probably shouldn't be here. But I'm like, my curiosity. And I'm like, I I I like to know these things. I like to see these things, you know? But there's dolls in the bottom. Like, okay, so in the first you enter the spot and it's a gift shop. Then after that, immediately there's like a seance room, there's like a museum with all types of, you know, dolls and items that belong to people that are no longer here or have like, you know, it has a crazy backstory, these items, and they're all like heavy charged with like, you know, presents and stuff like that. So you see all these things and you're just like, wow, you could feel. I definitely would have loved to bring this. Oh wow, it has
Where'd
energy
you get
right
that?
now.
Where'd you get that?
This
Where,
is Amazon.
girl? Let me find out you gonna go hunting.
And I definitely think that I would have probably if okay, so green is normal. When you see green is normal, but then when you go up, that's when the energy starts to come up. And red is like it's heavy. It's heavy energy. So I'm like, wait, let me just check real quick. I'm good. I'm
I
good.
know.
I'm
I'll be
good.
like this.
All right. Sometimes I randomly grab this and I'll be like, oh, let me check my house real quick, you know? But yeah, I would have loved to bring that with me. Let me put this aside. People are gonna be like, Rose, you were just talking about the Bible. But no, it's curiosity. I'll be honest with you, it's curiosity. But there was definitely a presence there. Definitely. And I actually wrote to the owner of Bloody Mary, and she said that it was a spirit of someone else. But I'm like, I don't know. She gave me a name and she said that wasn't Zach and it was someone else. But honestly, it looks like Zach. Let me see if I could get the picture.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. And
I
it's,
enjoy watching Ghost Hunters International. I've been watching it for the past couple of nights.
Okay, I got it for you guys.
Okay, let's do
So
this.
this is zoomed in. Try to be creative, okay? So this is the staircase. Let me see if I could. Hold on. Where am I? This is the staircase. There is a face. There's an eye, the nose, the mouth, and that's by the doorway. There should be nothing here. It should be black, pitch black. But this looks like a person looking at me. Let me see if I could put it this way. So this would have been pitch black, but there's definitely a
Oh, I
face,
see a face.
and he
That's a
looks
straight up
pissed,
face.
like
No, that's a
upset.
straight. It's going like this.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's a
yes.
straight up
You
face.
see it, right?
Yeah, no, I see it's going like this. Yeah, it's right there. Look at it. That's a face.
You could see the eyes, you could see
I
the
can see the
eyebrows, the
whole face.
nose,
How could you not see a
everything.
face? How
Right. And
could you
then
not?
some
How
people
could you
also,
not? Okay, who didn't see a face?
let me give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna see if I could, because I'm a little dyslexic here. So this is the bars right here on the top of the staircase. And I'm in a position where I'm looking down. When I'm looking down, the face is right here. And it looks like the face is mad at me and it's looking up at me. The eye, the nose, the whole round face. This looks like a shoulder, like a shirt. Let me see.
I see it. It's plain as day. It's right there. I see it. How could you not see it?
And I tried to point it too. Let me see.
Tracy sees it. I've got a couple of people that see it.
And this is the kitchen. Let's see if my connection.
Allie said, "Be careful. The ghost can follow you home."
I did a big prayer, heavy prayer, prayed, cleansed, because that is so true. Those things can follow. You have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could show you. Okay, I'm gonna see if I could show you the staircase. Let me see.
That's.
And
I mean, I
I
don't
wear
know
a
how
cross.
anybody can't see the face. I mean, that's a face.
Okay, so this is going up the stairs. This was there. This was really there.
Ew, what's that statue thing?
That's a
Ew.
statue. But you see the stairs? There's like it's
I
baby
see the
blue.
stair. I see the
That's
stairs.
that's one. That's one level, and then there's like a little let me just show. There's like a little spot right there going up. There's a little spot where there's like a
Okay.
doll.
Oh, the dolls.
I don't know why it's coming out blurry.
I see it. I see that doll. It's hanging
That
out on the side, like it's saying, "Hey, girl, what's up?"
that doll was that doll. I don't know who it belonged to, but the energy. As soon as you get up the steps, I did not want to pass by that doll. I want to pass, and I did the sign of the cross, and I was wearing a cross too. I wore a cross, and I was just like I didn't feel. I was like I'm a little bit nervous. I had felt like the doll was gonna reach out. I know you guys probably like, wow, Rose, you too much, but I felt so. It was. Let me see. If you see on the side up here, those are steps going up.
Yeah.
I was up there when I looked down and took the picture and I saw the guy. I was up there.
Oh, you're right there on the little platform thing,
Yes.
right there.
Yeah, I was a little bit, maybe a few steps up from the platform. So I'm looking
Girl.
down. I was looking down, and in the doorway, that's where you see the guy looking at me, and he was mad. He was
Yeah, he
pissed
was like
off.
this.
He was pissed off.
Yeah. That is
He was
so
pissed. He was pissed off
funny.
with me for real.
That is so funny. Well, it's
Yeah.
not funny, but you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, of course you would capture it. Oh yeah, you would
And
capture it.
you know how many times I
You go
passed
like
that
a real
picture?
hunter. You start taking random pictures. See if I can capture anything.
Yeah. It just keep taking pictures. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see if
Now
I
dolls can be creepy.
dolls. Definitely. This doll too. There was a doll here. It's hard to focus. I don't know. It's not easy to focus, but there's a doll that's right up here.
Yeah, I
That
see the
one,
doll sitting on like a little table or something. Yeah,
yeah, that one
yeah.
was. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
Girl,
share it again on my community section,
yeah, you
so
should.
you guys could
You
take a
should.
look if you want to look. You could see it's like
Yeah.
in the 47 minutes in. The video is an hour and 11 minutes, so you could probably just try to zoom in. I mean,
Yeah.
you could try to look and see where I go to the Bloody Mary, but it's worth watching if you're curious about this stuff.
Look, I bought a doll from a thrift store once because I like to get dolls every now and then. And my kids said that they saw that doll move.
I
And they
believe.
said, and they were like, "Get rid of the doll now!" They shoved it into the trash bag, and then they were like, "You got to get it out of the house." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like freaking out. And I took the doll and I threw it away. And I threw away the doll because they were so freaked out saying that the doll moved. And I was like, "This doll don't move." I picked up the doll. I said, "This thing ain't moving as a doll." And they're like, "It moved." And I was like, "Okay, out it goes. Out
Yeah.
it goes." They shoved in that bag. They were like,
Get it out.
girl.
I do feel like dolls do. There's so many stories all around the world, everywhere. In Mexico, there's a doll island, and people say,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
oh
that
my
one.
God, it's creepy. Whoa.
There's
No.
definitely, there's definitely things that we cannot explain. So there's people that are like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts and none of that is real. Let me tell you something. You keep thinking like that. That's safe to think like that, and you should stay like that. But if you really, really want to know, there is definitely things that are not. They're not from this earth.
This shouldn't be.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
definitely, I definitely believe, and I could definitely tell you that I've experienced a lot of supernatural things. And there is something. There is something. But yeah, that's the refrigerator from the crime. Now people put drinks, they put money. I guess they leave different things. Like people leave things in there as well. They leave
Oh,
coins. They leave.
at the island?
Oh no, in the museum.
Oh, okay. Because I
Oh, in
was
the
like,
island too. I think in
that's
the island they
oof.
leave. It's like offer. People leave offerings, and they do that in front of What's her
Those
name?
dolls
Wow.
are
I
creepy.
I can't I can't think today, you guys. I apologize. My brain is like um
Those dolls are creepy. On the Dot Island. I saw the Dot Island. It was on Housewives of Miami that they went to the Dot Island in the last season.
that
They
one is
went there and they went on a ship on a like a boat because it goes through like it's like a little I don't know, it's not a river. It's some body of water that's not too
yeah.
big. And they went there
Yeah,
and I was like, I wouldn't have gotten off that boat.
yeah.
No, no
I'm
sir.
curious. I'm guilty. I'm so guilty that I am a curious person. Like
Mm-mm,
I know it's not really good, but I like
mm-mm,
I don't know. It's just something about the curiosity that I have. Like
mm-mm.
I want to know more of that. Like
They even said it smelled bad. They was like it smelled bad. Even it smelled like stuff was rotting. And they're like, and these were dolls. I mean, why would it? And a lot of them were made out of porcelain and stuff. And I'm like, a lot of them. I mean, porcelain doesn't stink. Do you know what I'm saying?
yes, you know what they say, and that goes back to earlier what I was saying about scent. Like sometimes you smell things. I don't know where like bubble gum. I smelled bubble gum, but they say when it smells really bad like that, It's because
Yes.
there's something negative, a negative influence,
Mm.
negative energy. Yeah, like when you start smelling weird things out of nowhere, it's that.
Mhm.
It's very creepy. But
Girl.
Marie Laveau, her house, I think it recently burned down too, if I'm not
Did
mistaken.
it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy things happening in New Orleans. Yeah.
And the doll was the doll in the house, or did they move the doll to a different location?
Oh no, so that place, there's Bloody Marys,
Yeah.
that's still there. Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen, her
Mm.
home, they have beads that they would put in the
Oh,
corn.
the Voodoo Queen. Okay, I thought you were talking about Mary Bell, the doll
Oh
that's
no, oh
possessed.
Annabelle, right?
Annabelle, the doll
Annabelle.
that's possessed.
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
what?
yes. They bring her there, and when they bring her there, all of a sudden, all these things started happening. This plantation burned down. Marie Laveau. Yeah, let me double check just to make sure because it was
What?
Marie. I
Girl.
want to confirm this because Marie. Yeah, a lot of things were happening. Um, those guys escaped. The prisoners escaped.
Wow.
um,
That's crazy.
let me see. Yes, it caught on fire. Marie Laveau. It wasn't destroyed, but it was damaged. It's damaged but not destroyed, basically.
Wow.
Ever since that doll hit there, and I heard, I don't know if she's there currently, but there's she's supposed to be going to Pennsylvania or something like that.
Huh.
So Gettysburg is another place that got a lot of spiritual things going on there too.
Wow.
I'm like, don't. And then I think it's like a tour they want to do, like bring the doll all around. I'm like, they need to leave her where she needs to be. Where what's his name? The Warrens who owned her. Keep her where they had her. And now there's gonna be another movie that's coming out.
What?
Yeah, another movie. Hold
And
on.
it's about that doll.
Uh, last rites. Last rites.
Because I know they say you're not supposed to touch it. Don't go near it.
Don't
Um,
touch her. Don't they're even saying don't look at her. Do not look at her
yeah.
in the eyes. None of that. Anytime I'm in TikTok and they have that video, the doll, I swipe so quick. Like I'm like, mm.
I'd probably be staring dead at it, and I wouldn't even know that was the doll. I'd be like, "That's a creepy looking doll." I'd be looking dead at it, just like,
Don't look, don't look. But yeah, they have the owners. Let me see. The Conjuring Last Rites. That's Ed
ooh.
and Lauren. So Ed and Lauren, they're the ones. Lauren Warren. Those are the people who had the dolls, and they had like a whole bunch. You ever seen any of those Conjuring movies?
I don't know if I have because my brain cells are like fried. I
Girl, me
probably
too.
have. I probably have.
Hold on, let me see. Why is this so blurry? What is going on?
It's blowy. It's the blur. Oh, The Conjuring.
That's
Okay.
Lorraine and Ed, the Warren, Ed
How
Warren.
how did they get the doll? I wonder. What was like?
She's gifted. They actually used to have a show back then too. But I think she passed away. I believe, yeah, she had passed. She recently, not recently, maybe like a few years back, she passed away.
Huh.
But she had a whole bunch of dolls and a whole bunch of things in her home, and she contained all that negative energy in that room. And she was like, everything got to stay here. Like she had that special gift that she was able to calm those things down, you know. And she's
Oh,
gifted. She could see things, she could hear things, she would see visions. Long story short, I believe it's her child right now who is um with right, they have a room full of haunted items, and she's able to contain those items. Now she wanted the doll to stay there in that room, but her son he has the doll and now he's bringing the doll everywhere. I'm like, I know she's mad. The mother must be pissed off. Like, boy, I don't told you leave that doll there. Don't touch that doll. You know, because she had that gift. She had that gift to control them and calm all those haunted items. Like, and now it's that
Mm-mm.
doll is moving. She was even missing at one point, and they found her. I'm like, how you really? I think he's doing it on purpose. He wants to cause problems.
That's
I was like,
scary.
yup. I was like, the inmates, they ran from the jail. She had Marie Laveau's house caught fire. The plantation burned down, and it was just a lot of things happening in New Orleans. But they took her out. I'm like, good, because I felt about a lot of things, a lot of negative, and people over there were saying a lot of the residents that live there, they were like, the energy's very very weird now that she was there. Hopefully, she don't come to New York because New York is already there's enough going on in New York. Don't bring her to New York. But I
Yeah,
want
and don't bring it near me either. We got enough stuff going
to.
on, so we got
There
enough
is.
for real, for real. This was so much fun.
Yes, it was. Let me see. I'm trying to see.
Yay!
Yeah, you could check. Okay, so she looks like the Raggedy Ann doll? Don't look in the eyes. Don't look in the eyes,
Too
guys.
late. I looked at it. I looked at it. That's it. I looked at
uh,
it.
but yeah,
That's
you could
it.
check. She's touring, so you could check if she's coming to your neighborhood. Definitely pray her up. Make sure you are hold your Bible. My Bible's right here, open at all times. I don't want no problems with her. We claim no negative energy.
Amen.
And I hope everybody had a wonderful time. I had a good time. It felt really nice hanging out and just chit chatting, and it's always a blast chilling and talking to you, Anna.
Oh, no, this was fun. I hope we can do it again. So thank you
Yes,
everybody who came by. And if we do it again, you guys will know. All
we'll
right.
keep you guys posted. And don't forget, please put a big thumbs up on this video, you guys, please.
I
And
appreciate it.
kind words, guys. If you have nothing nice to say, don't come here looking for problems, because Anna's busy. Why are you going after her? Leave her alone. Let her be. She's just chilling. Let her be. She's got enough. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But I will
That's
be
it.
praying for all those people who are lost, who have negative energy, who are being hateful. We're gonna keep them in our prayers because they're suffering, and they got some torment going
That's
on in
right.
their life. We don't know what it is,
That's
but
right.
we'll keep them in our prayers, and hopefully God could touch their hearts and they'll be more nice.
That's what I'm talking about. So thank you, everybody. And we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. All right. Bye.
Bye.